Are you a guitar player that is looking for a simple recording setup that is not going to break the bank? Well, then you are in luck because today's video is for you, and we are going to be looking at an inexpensive audio interface and pair of monitors from Donner. The Donner Livejack Lite 2-in 2-out USB audio interface is 24-bit and has a maximum sample rate of 192 kHz. It has two TRS balanced outputs for your studio monitors, as well as a headphone output on the front of the unit. It works with PCs and Windows as well as Mac products. And it's powered by the USB connection to the computer, meaning you don't need a separate power supply, which is really nice, especially for those of you that are looking for a minimalist setup. Now the connection is USB 2.0 Type-C, which is something you need to keep in mind when connecting it to your computer. If you don't have a Type-C port, you will need some sort of adapter or specialty cable. On the front of the unit, we have one combo input, meaning you can plug in either XLR or 1/4-inch cables. And we also have a second input, which consists of a 1/4-inch TS jack. Now it does include 48-volt phantom power over the combo jack, and you have instrument line switches on both of the inputs, as well as a direct monitor switch, and we'll get to that in a minute. So in full disclosure, Donner did contact me to sponsor this video, but this video is entirely my idea because I get a lot of questions from you guys that are looking to start recording guitar. You know, maybe you want to make demos at home or something like that, and a lot of times those questions are coming from people that are on a budget. So my whole idea for this video was to see if I could put together this interface and studio monitor package, which comes in right around $230 US, which is cheaper than most audio interfaces out there on the market. Now, of course, at the end of the video, I will give you guys my honest opinions on this setup and if it's something that I think is viable for most of you. But based off my previous experience with Donner, I feel like they make really good stuff for the price, and I feel like their price to performance ratio is really great for those of you that are on a budget. All right, let's open this box up and see what's inside. Okay, so here is the interface. And here are the studio monitors. These are 3-inch monitors. They do make 4-inch monitors if you want to spend a little bit of extra money and probably get a little bit more low end out of them. But we'll test these and see how good they are. I'm sure for most people they are going to do a great job. And oh, these are... How's that gonna work? Oh, okay. Phew. Yeah, these guys are tiny. There's one. Here's the other one. This one has an auxiliary input and a headphone output on the front, which is kind of nice. And then this is interesting. They also include these foam pads. And what these will do is you put these underneath your monitors like so, and it will separate your monitor from whatever it's sitting on so you don't get bass resonances through your desk or your bookshelf or whatever you have these things on. So that's kind of neat. Okay, so an interesting thing about these speakers is one of them has all the inputs on the back. There's quite a bit of weight difference between the two of them too. So this speaker is the one that has the amplifier in it. This is the one you would plug your power into. And then you connect the other one via these RCA cables, or I don't even know what you call it. I haven't seen these in a long time. This reminds me of the 90s. But basically one of these speakers is active, the other one is passive, and you'll connect them via this connection right here. You have room space, which will cut the low end by up to 4 decibels, which is really nice, especially if these are right up against a wall since they are rear ported. That'll help you keep the bass under control. And then you have a high frequency trim so you can cut or add 2 decibels to your high frequencies, and then an on-off switch. So it's kind of nice. I gotta say, if you guys have a small minimalist setup with a laptop or something, this is probably a good move. I mean, these speakers are very small, portable, they don't take up a lot of space on your desk. Really excited to hook them up and see how they sound. Okay, let's check out the interface here, the star of the show. And it actually comes with a USB cable that is Type-C to Type-A. So if you're plugging this into a USB-A port, they have you covered there. Okay. All right, I gotta say, not bad. It has some weight to it, so it doesn't feel cheap at all. I really like how it has this big volume knob here. I'm a big fan of these. I don't think it can get much simpler than this. You have 2 TRS outputs on the back, and then your Type-C, which is gonna connect to your computer. All right, so let's get this guy plugged into my laptop, and we're gonna track some guitars using a free plugin, and we're gonna see if we can actually monitor ourselves back with this audio interface without any lag. Let's do that. All right, so I set up my laptop on this case here, and I did this sort of for demonstration purposes. Maybe you're in a similar situation where you are limited on space, and I just wanted to show that, you know, you can get this set up in a very small, compact space. So for reference, this is a 13-inch MacBook Pro to kind of give you an idea of how big the speakers are and how big the audio interface is. It doesn't have a large footprint. I have my favorite free amp sim loaded up. This is the Amped Roots plugin by ML Sound Lab. Okay, so... Let's open up the audio options here, and you can see that I'm at 192 kHz with 64 samples, giving me a 0.3 millisecond buffer. And the delay is almost imperceivable, so I'm really not having any issues with lag or anything like that when I'm playing, which will really affect the way that the amp sim feels when you're playing. And so far the speakers sound excellent. There is a surprising amount of low end actually coming from them. I really wasn't expecting that from 3-inch speakers, but they sound really good for monitors. And I had the volume up just past the halfway point there, maybe around 1 o'clock or something like that. That was actually loud enough to make my ears a little bit uncomfortable, and I definitely wouldn't do that for sustained periods of time. So I'm gonna open up Reaper here, and yes, I am still evaluating this copy. This is a new computer, so I haven't got anything set up on it really yet. And this is how I would typically go about recording guitars, plugging straight into an interface and just recording my DI signal. Okay, the quality of the riff is not super important. All we want to do is listen back and make sure that we got a good quality DI signal. And there you have it, a perfect clean DI going directly into the audio interface and using an amp sim to monitor myself with. I think for the $110 that these monitors cost, they really provide an excellent value. Normally I'm mixing on Kali 6-inch speakers, and by comparison, these actually have a really decent amount of low end, and they sound pretty good. So all in all, I would definitely suggest this audio interface and this studio monitor setup, especially if you are on a budget and you don't have a ton of space to work with, maybe you need to have a small footprint. This definitely fits the bill for that. If you enjoyed this video, I'm gonna link another video over here on Donner guitars that you might be interested in, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.